Good morning. This morning's video is just going to be a quick video on one of the things I've written. This is called Saruman, Lucifer, and the Christ, the Balance of Being. Most people assume Lucifer and Satan, or in symbolic form Saruman, are the same entity, but in truth, they're literally polar opposites. Lucifer represents pure, etheric light, beings of extremely high vibration who never descend into physical form. They exist purely in spirit. When we pass into the spirit realm, we move through this Luciferian light. They are called light bearers because their frequency is so bright, so high, it seems like the closest thing to source itself. But here's the thing. Too much light will blind you. In the human experience, unbalanced Luciferian energy shows up as spiritual bypassing, disassociation, or obsessive purity. Love and light, love and light. It's a form of blindness because chasing only the light leaves you detached from embodiment and real growth. On the other side of the spectrum, we have Satan, or Saruman. This is the descent into density, into matter, service to self, control, materialism. When you're deep in darkness, you also can't see. You're blind, just differently. Saruman's path is seductive because it gives power in the 3D world, but at the cost of connection, truth, and the soul. In both cases, too much light or too much dark, you lose sight. The real path is not found at either extreme. This brings us to the Christ, also known as the Tao or the middle path. In astrology, in Druidic Christianity, in ancient solar religions across the world, Christ is not a person. It's an archetype, a frequency. Christ is the solar logos, the divine light within the sun, the consciousness being we see behind the physical sun. The title of Christ has been worn by many across the ages. In our current age, the age of Pisces, the Christ is expressed as Yahshua, Jesus. But in previous ages, that title was held by others, like Mithras during the Roman era. Christ is balance. Christ is the space where the two circles meet, the vesica piscis, the overlap. You know, the Jesus fish that you always see, right? That literally, so it's also the geometric shape of where we actually fucking live. So, Christ is the space where the two circles meet, vesica piscis, the overlap, the third way. It's the fusion of polarities. The Buddhists call it the middle way. In energy terms, it's when the chakras are aligned, when the soul is harmonized, and when you can directly connect to the solar frequency. When you are balanced, neither seeking escape in the light nor trapped in the dark, you become clear. You become a clear channel for divine awareness. You awaken to your true place in the fractal of creation. Here's how that fractal works. At the top is source, or logos. Source emanates into the sun, the first sub-logos. From the sun, consciousness steps down into the planets, the sub-logi of the sun. From the planets, it steps down into man, a sub-logos of earth, and from man into the animals and plants and all layers of physical life. Each layer is a reflection of the layer above it, and each is an expression of source experiencing itself from a different angle, through a different lens. This is why ancient teachings say our world is a copy of another world, because it literally is. Creation begins in the higher densities and is refracted downward like light through a prism. As it moves down, it slows, it takes on form, and finally becomes matter. That's why matter is simply condensed light. light passed through the filters of the dimensions from the 10th to the 4th space-time, and finally to the 3rd, where it becomes something we can touch. God is everything. The Logos is the source of all. The sun is the macrocosm, our divine interface with source. The planets are subsystems of that light, and we are microscopic reflections. Each of us is a sub-logos carrying the blueprint of God, unfolding in time. Every breath we take is source meeting itself again in a new form. In this balance between light and dark, spirit and matter, we find the Christ, not as a savior outside of us, but as the perfect harmony inside. Namaste.